Today, we're using one of my favorite tools, the dip pen. The dip pen is this thingy right here, wherever the camera is. It's over here. This thingy has one of these thingies that goes in here. If this is the right size, it'll fit. Kinda, that'll do. Today I'm drawing this lovely feather, which is a really nice match for this dip pen. What I'm going to focus on specifically is obviously getting my overall shape and form proper, but focusing on these individual sort of fluffy bits. These different changes in color, right? And then also in this shadow and this beautiful diffuse shadow we've got along the edges caused by these slits here. That's really interesting. Ooh, there's some fascinating physics occurring there. Anyway, let me pop open this ink and inspect it. These guys ideally, so they've got this hole in them here, and the point of that in theory is that you dip and you sort of fill that well underneath it, and now you have this beautiful line that you can create with. I'm going to try and match this roughly. Not bad, not bad. There you go. Needed a bit of confidence for that second one. Didn't quite get it exactly how I would want it. Ideally, the feather shaping seems to come in right here. And from there, proceed all the way to the end of this. This is pretty good ending. Neither of these edges to the feather are sharp, so neither of them should be drawn with a sharp edge like I just did. This V line over here is sharp, however, and would make a nice... So it's just the edge there. Take that. And here I'm just looking for some starting places and just kind of marking myself out a little bit. And there we go. That's all I'm trying to do. Didn't quite get that edge down properly, but it's pretty good still. Just a little piece of work here. As always, forgetting to start my timer. There we go. Come over here. Try and commit to some of the same ideas. Really cool how over here you have actual splits occurring. As you can see, I'm just doing my best to preserve whatever details I think are interesting or important, and then just blend whatever I've got together. And it might not all come together at once, but hopefully over time these different pieces come together to make the image that I'm interested in. Pretty fun, pretty easy. Changing my angle here as I come into this swoop, trying to bring this down this way without looking too silly. And then we have this very distinctive, like, ragged section almost over here. And I'm not sure what the right way to describe it is. I've made mistakes in scale here. My feather's too far out. Coming around over here now. That's ultimately a little sad. There's not much I can do to fix it now, so I'm not going to bother to try. I'm just going to keep on going. Got these nice raggedy feathers sort of over here. Really beautiful stuff. Get the fine lines in there too. I'm going to duck my way all the way out of that camera. How am I? Yeah, you just get glasses there. Oh, sorry. Do my best to stay in shot, I guess. What's the point of that thing? Give you all that forehead. Woo! So here I am coming up to this sudden change in depth, but not in fluff. And then we're out in fluff again. And actually coming forwards with it a little bit. And then there's this great split here. Which I'm going to do inwards. Fix it there. These divisions in the feathers, I'm going to try to put them in now. I'm going to hope that by using a different direction of line later on, that I make them not too obvious. I love how sort of see-through this is. It's going to be very hard to present properly. But I will try. This is one of my favorite mediums. As you can see, if you're doing it gently and properly, you require very little dipping. Everything gets done quite easily, quite quickly. Lots of detail left on this stock, just haven't really touched that bottom section at all yet. I'm going to finish my overall outer sketch and then try to work in and get some different shading details, but I also want to spend some time on the shadow there. Lots of things to do. Voicing intentions like that in your head, if you're doing art around other people, actually very useful. Here you can see I'm not quite getting my ink down, but I still have lots of ink. So I'm just going to try and focus on positioning. And if I just get like a soft line for a bit, that's fine. I'm okay with that. I'll take that. Make that little cut there, right there. And just keep on wimbling. Well, that sucks a little bit, I'm not gonna lie. When that sort of thing happens, you just kind of have to remember that you're using a dip pen and you shouldn't have flourished like that. My fault. Okay, so I'm gonna go in over here and try to get the start of that feather pattern happening, and hopefully I can incorporate most of this ink into that. And then that will cause most of the problems to go away. Speckling is really interesting here. I've never really noticed that on this feather. I would be telling you if I knew exactly what it was. I can't remember if this is the turkey feather or something different. These are my feathers. I'm borrowing them, I'm afraid. Which are my feathers? Crumble, crumble, crumble. So there's a couple different things I can try and do here. I think I'm happy with this current approach for now. this is going to be dark. But this should be a low light point for the feather anyway, I think. So that kind of changes the game a little bit, obviously. And then this is just the reality of working with dip pen or working with different mediums. Just you get hurt, you get stung every now and then. And reload, maybe I shouldn't, but my confidence is shook, so I'm gonna reload my pen. Not perfect. It's supposed to be that line. I guess it should be the. It is the underside line. It's defect of the underside line. I think just trying to carve out any shape or identity for that. Oh man, and then this shouldn't be so. Oh, I can't turn that. Basic drawing. Yeah. See, that's the problem. I gotta figure out some way to have a setup that allows me to move around it. Oh, better. Okay. Okay, I'm just gonna work with this and hope that it works out looking good. So, there's a darkening here, but it's followed by, what's the proper way? Probably something like that. With an inner lining. And just come at it over here, nice and slow. Take my time, try to stay on the camera. All the standard basics that I struggle with. Okay. I want to make sure that this technique is still appropriate, so I keep double checking. Back at the art piece. Here we come. Here's the lineup. And it's working pretty well, I think. Okay, we're coming in. And now, exactly, we should be bridging the whole thing. Curve, 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 curve. Gripping this pen a little too tight right now. Gotta ease up, but I really want both speed and precision. And something has to give. Pretty good. And just changing the style a little bit to finish up. Okay. I'm going to return to focus in on the coloring. I'm going to go left to right. Should go top to bottom. That's all the standard smart person stuff. So let's start over here with the fluff on the bottom. Oh, piece by piece. The pen weighs. Very confusing and difficult. Okay. That's the lateral section there. Now what I want is to tuft it over there. And then over here, trying to stay as accurate to the actual shading on the feather as possible. I'm worried I've got a jam or something here. I should have a piece of something nearby that would help me in this situation. This will do. Okay. Oh, we're definitely getting some sort of ink out of it. So, are you happy now? Alright, maybe reload. Maybe proper reload. There we go. Oh, too much. Classic. Too much or not at all. And the dependence is finicky, but the reward is obviously these beautiful textures that are so lovely and distinctive. Yeah, and I think we're going to go for this or something like that. Try and drop it in. It's almost counter shading. It's kind of crazy. So go like that. And then get the actual feathers in. And that's looking pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that. The counter shading makes me interested. Let's get some more of the speckling in. Put in some of the actual feather. There we go. Starting to get it. The trick is sort of a bottom left. Give it space to grow. Maybe less intense probably on the shading stuff over there. Cool. So I'm starting to feel pretty happy with how that's all coming in. It's not quite accurate, but you know. That's pretty cute. Okay. So we have one cute section with gaps, one cute section over there, one dark section over there. I need to shade out the transition between these. Which is just complete. It's gonna all go nice and dark over here. Just like that. And what we get as a result of that is some nice counter shading from the bottom. So if I come from the bottom like this, the hope is that this ends up looking nice and good. Push, push, push. Yay! There we go. That way, I don't rule out the entire possibility of light in the dark part of the feathers. But it is under control a little bit, right? There we are. And we made sure that the darkness is actually prominent, and now we can restore our feather texture a little bit. Yeah, don't overdo it. Okay. It's more to me than to you guys. Okay. Toss in my speckling. That's the major difference between these two sections so far. One of them is sort of defined by its speckling. One of them is sort of defined by its counter shading. It's good to try and figure these things out as you go. And then again, same as before. Put in the actual feather, like so. Hoping the shade is preserved. This is where, unfortunately, do a couple more light feathers here and there. Try and get my angles right so I'm not picking up thingies, so I don't have to clean my tip all the time. Check this thing. Discovered that my phone's running out of battery. Fantastic. That's what you like half an hour into a video. Alrighty. Guess we plug on for a bit while that recovers. Perfect. Okay, so now that we're getting our color back a little bit, I'm feeling a little more confident. A little sad we lost the overhead cam for a bit, but see how much video we actually lost. Whoop, nope, here it is. Okay. 22 minutes, not bad. Okay. Back at it. Hopefully I haven't dripped in cover everything. Okay. So this video is going long. I've already got 28 minutes on this clock, but having just lost a good chunk of overhead time, I don't think I'm going to get a chance to finish this, so I'm sorry, but I do want another couple stabs at it, and I'm pretty happy with how it's looking, so that's a good sign. Can't have these things taking up too much of the day, I'm afraid. Too much to do in this life. Okay. I'm also really feeling I need to start just resetting this. Super hard. Get my fingernails inky. Don't love that. But I just really need some flow, man. I gotta get some flow out of this thing. Okay, so we got good split. Tiny bit of hair. Let's reload and have a little faith. Perfect. Okay. So, as long as I can stay in my happy place with this pen, as long as that camera up there is actually recording, which thank goodness it is. This is why you gotta check every now and then. Problem is I don't check and yada yada. We've lost a couple videos, you know, there's this couple you never see the light of day due to my foolishness, that's for sure. Nobody else is to blame but myself. Don't get the wrong idea. Only I am responsible. But yeah, at this point I'm very much... Sorry, I've sort of defaulted, which is always a mistake with art. What I should really be doing is focusing on some of these beautiful sharp details on the edge here that I've already tried to like approximate. And just making sure that these lines are, you know, present in quality, and that my ink is coming out. There we go. Perfect. Yeah, that's a bit better. Yeah, each one of those is just distinct. So I'm just trying to make sure that that idea is present on the edge of this feather. Doesn't have to be perfect, but you know, that way you can look at it and be like, oh, I see where that came from. That's a really powerful thing for art. You know, you don't have to be perfect with your representation, but recognition plays a really fantastic role. See, I like doing that, but I feel like that's what's messing up my brush. We will find out. I'm just going to keep on doing my best. Going to bring this dark section in. It's a good thing art's so relaxing, because the camera can be really frustrating. Okay. Let's grab another one. And away we go. Some more speckling. Again, this is obviously because of the positioning of the centerpiece, which I should know the name of. Don't. Because of the central line thing, I'm no longer quite doing that feather. Just doing like an homage to it. But I'm happy with that, I think. That'll be a perfectly good stand-in for now. Okay. Draw this down, trying to get some better coverage in this direction on the whole thing. Looks like I'm out. And that's looking pretty solid. I think you definitely would know that it's the same feather at the very least. If they were to see them side by side, obviously. And you pick the battle of a lineup, you know. I'd accept it if you weren't able to recognize it. I'd be a little disappointed in myself, you know. We can do better. Our art it can be more magnificent. Oh yeah, let's do this. Okay. So at the very least, I'm going to toss in some of these overall lines. You know, sometimes you just can't get it all. This section of the base is also really beautiful. And that last one is about half that, so I'm hoping that is good. Over here. It's interesting the way the pattern changes over here. It makes you wonder if it's like in the middle of transitioning to a different pattern or what the deal is. Really cool stuff. This is so fluffy. I just don't... How do you make something here. More like that, you know. I want a little bit of oomph, you know, something different to it. I also do want to wrap this up. He threatened. He's like, oh, you just wait. I'm gonna stop drawing. Don't you dare click away. Oh, I'm just gonna, they're gone. They're all gone. Oh. See, if I combine that with an underlying counter stroke, then do I get some? See, there's different changes in the color of the feather over here, so you gotta preserve that. Yeah. I'm using a lateral stroke on the pen, which hopefully doesn't mess things up too much. And how would I represent the sort of ombre? I think for that you would shade a lateral gradient. That's the best option I can think of off the top of my head. There's probably something better if I... But you know, that's fine, right? I don't know, it's not perfect, but... Oh, sorry, wrong one. Yeah, so you get that darker section there, and then split it up and something like that. Try and preserve some of that overall pattern and flow. And then for darker bits, obviously, continue our fluffy counter shade. Something like that. And on. And I like this. It's going to take a while for me to finish this. Let me check my watch again in a minute, and we'll see how much time I've got left. This is fun, so it's hard for me to resist the opportunity to do more art. You need to move on and do more difficult work. Oh man. Less relaxing work, at the very least. Here, make some sort of like unifying features between these sections at the very least, so it's clear that they're supposed to be the same color. Even if I don't feel like I have time to fill them all in. I'll do a couple of shortcuts here at the end to try and improve the overall style of your art. Here, my highlights are blending in with all the different pieces because it's just starting to move into the same color. So that makes a lot of sense. But over here and over here, we're going to return to that overall sort of shape and structure. That's what, if you start to want to wrap your drawing up and disguise some of the parts that you haven't finished, that's the standard way to do it. You should just focus on your big major details in your unfinished sections, and then you're good, basically. Any better detail you can do, but you just want to avoid having large unfinished spaces. This isn't quite what I dreamed, but did I ruin it? I don't know. Can't even see it yet. It's not a ruin, but it's not as good as I would like it to be. If I had time to finish this, I would obviously throw in all this beautiful stuff over here. There's this like gentle pieces which should probably be like fluffed out, oh, ever so gently, something like that, but with even more care and precision. And then of course underneath it all you have this gentle whisker of shadow and these diffuse circles underneath it. Pretty beautiful image, something you should practice. I hope you tried this along with me, or at the very least enjoyed watching me attempt it. This is a pretty good stab. The top is really nice, and preferably the rest of it would look much closer to that. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for being here. Thank you for surviving through this camera frustratingness. Have a great day. Bye for now.